Intelligent design is science. 3.
Some atheists claim that intelligent design is not science. However, intelligent design matches all of the general requirements for a hard science. A. Empirical observation. B. Hypothesis building. C. Scientific method of abductive inference. D. Prediction. E. Testing by matching predictions to observations. F. Openness to falsifiability. G. Verification by matching prediction with observations. G. Iterative improvement based on observation and empirical feedback. H. Iterative improvement based on internal and external critique, feedback and dialogue. I. Confirmed predictions. J. No falsified core predictions. K. The paradigm providing fruitful pointers to new scientific questions. L. The paradigm providing fruitful pointers to new scientific areas of research. M. The scientific method of inferring a category of causes that matches uniform human experience. N. The scientific method of inferring a category of causes that matches uniform scientific experience. So, by any reasonable criteria, intelligent design is science. Intelligent design is a hard science. Below, we discuss how ID meets each criterion listed above, illustrating its robustness and potential as a scientific paradigm. A. Empirical observation. Empirical observation is the foundation of any scientific endeavor. In the context of intelligent design, empirical observations are derived from the natural world, particularly in biology. Proponents of ID point to the specified complexity and functionality of biological systems, such as the intricate machinery of cellular processes and the information-rich structures of DNA. These observations are not mere philosophical musings but are grounded in the empirical study of nature, providing a basis for scientific inquiry. B. Hypothesis building. A critical aspect of science is the ability to generate hypotheses based on observations. Intelligent design proposes, as hypotheses, that certain features of the universe and living organisms are best explained by an intelligent cause rather than an undirected process like natural selection. These hypotheses are grounded in the observation of complex specified functional information, CSI, in biological systems, which is a hallmark of intelligent causation. It is uniform human and scientific experience that complex specified functional information arises only from the purposeful activity of a mind or minds. And the same with irreducible complexity. C. Scientific method of abductive inference. Abductive inference, or inference to the best explanation, is a method used in science to determine the most likely cause of an observed phenomenon. ID employs abductive reasoning by comparing the explanatory power of design versus naturalistic processes. For instance, when examining the origin of genetic information, ID theorists show that intelligent causation is the best explanation, given the absence of naturalistic processes that can account for the origin of such complex information. This inference is grounded on the fact that it is uniform human and scientific experience that complex specified functional information arises only from the purposeful activity of a mind or minds. And the same with irreducible complexity. D. Prediction. Scientific theories must make predictions that can be tested. Intelligent design makes several predictions, such as the expectation that we should find functionally complex systems in biology that cannot arise by step-by-step gradual evolutionary processes with viable specified functionality all the way down to atoms. Another prediction is that we will discover more instances of irreducible complexity, where removing any part of a biological system would cause it to cease functioning, which is seen as evidence for design. E. Testing by matching predictions to observations. The validity of a scientific hypothesis is tested by comparing predictions with actual observations. In the case of intelligent design, the predictions mentioned above are tested by ongoing research in biology and related fields. For example, the discovery of irreducibly complex systems, such as the bacterial flagellum, is evidence supporting their predictions. And with time, science has discovered increasing numbers of irreducibly complex molecular machines in living cells. F. Openness to falsifiability. A hallmark of science is that its hypotheses must be falsifiable. Intelligent design claims are open to falsification. If naturalistic processes are demonstrated to produce complex specified information without intelligent intervention, or if a naturalistic pathway could be identified for the evolution of an irreducibly complex system, with viable specified functionality all the way down to atoms, ID would be falsified. This openness to being proven wrong aligns ID with the scientific principle of falsifiability. G. Verification by matching prediction with observations. Verification in science involves confirming that predictions consistently match observations. Intelligent design's hypothesis of intelligent causation has been put to the test in various ways, such as examining the origin of biological information. When predictions of ID are corroborated by empirical data, such as the inability of natural processes to generate specified complexity, this provides verification of the ID framework. Predictions of ID include A. Irreducibly complex biomolecular machines, and B. Complex independently specified functional information in protein coding genes, and C. In non-protein coding, but process instructional genes. These are instructions that tell the cell machinery when to create a protein, where to place the protein, and how much of the protein to make. H. Iterative improvement based on observation and empirical feedback. Science is an iterative process where theories are continually refined based on new observations and feedback. Intelligent design has been refined over time, with its proponents refining the clarity and specificity of ID arguments in light of new scientific discoveries. For example, more examples of irreducibly complex machines, more languages, more software, more kinds of functional information are being discovered, over time, in biological cells. These are all specific instances that fit within the general framework of intelligent design. I. Iterative improvement based on internal and external critique, feedback, and dialogue. The scientific process thrives on critique and dialogue, both from within and outside a given field. Intelligent design has been the subject of extensive critique, particularly from proponents of evolutionary biology. However, this criticism has led to further refinement of ID arguments. The ongoing dialogue between ID proponents and critics has played a crucial role in the development of more robust hypotheses and theories within the ID framework. J. Confirmed predictions. For a scientific theory to be robust, its predictions must be confirmed by empirical data. Intelligent design has made several predictions that have been confirmed. These include the discovery of additional information-rich structures in DNA and the identification of systems that are irreducibly complex. For instance, evolutionary biologists predicted that, if naturalistic evolution is true, 99% of the human genome would be junk DNA that is not used or usable. This is because given empirically measured mutation rates, if more of the human genome were functional, human evolution, past or present, would not be possible due to mutational error catastrophe. So, evolutionary biologists listed many different kinds of junk DNA. However, ID scientists predicted that a much higher fraction of the human genome would indeed be functional. Genetic load mechanisms would result in some non-usable DNA, but at least 50% or more of the DNA would be functional in one way or another. In recent years, examples have been found of functions for every single kind of alleged junk DNA. And in addition, Project ENCODE, by non-ID scientists, has shown that 80 to 90% of DNA is actually transcribed, and so is functional in one way or another, in human cells. This is a clear example of a huge class of predictions by evolutionary biologists being wrong, and the corresponding class of predictions by intelligent design scientists being correct. These are evidence that ID is making accurate scientific predictions. K. No falsified core predictions. A theory's credibility is maintained as long as its core predictions remain unfalsified. None of the core predictions of ID, such as the existence of irreducibly complex systems or the need for an intelligent cause for complex specified information, have been falsified. This supports the validity of ID as a scientific theory. Over time, we are seeing more and more examples of A. Irreducibly complex molecular machines in cells, and B. Increasing kinds and amounts of complex specified functional information in biological cells. So these confirm intelligent design by matching ID predictions. In contrast, we are seeing more and more examples of predictions of naturalistic mega-evolution being falsified. We have discussed more than 30 such examples in other videos, e.g., see our Failed Predictions of Evolution series of videos. L. the paradigm providing fruitful pointers to new scientific questions. A successful scientific theory should inspire new questions and areas of research. Intelligent design has prompted new lines of inquiry in areas such as bioinformatics, the study of complex systems, and the search for intelligent causation in biological phenomena. These new questions push the boundaries of science, challenging researchers to explore areas that might otherwise be overlooked. Another example of this is ID predicting that most of the human genome would be functional, and not just junk DNA. This paradigm provides fruitful questions about the possible functional uses of those alleged junk DNA in the cells. This paradigm change, consistent with ID, has led to hundreds of scientific studies and papers that report new functions found for the 99% of DNA was predicted by evolutionary biologists to have no function. The paradigm providing fruitful pointers to new scientific areas of research. Beyond generating new questions, a scientific paradigm should open up new fields of study. Intelligent design has done this by encouraging research into the origins of biological information, the nature of genetic coding, and the study of complex systems in biology. These areas of research have the potential to yield significant scientific insights, regardless of whether one agrees with the ID framework. An example of this is ID predicting that most of the human genome would be functional, and not just junk DNA. This paradigm provides fruitful pointers to new areas of research dealing with the functional uses of those alleged junk DNA in the cells. This paradigm change, consistent with ID, has led to hundreds of scientific studies and papers that report new functions found for the 99% of DNA was predicted by evolutionary biologists to have no function. The scientific method of inferring a category of causes that matches uniform human experience. Science often infers causes based on uniform human experience. In the context of intelligent design, the cause inferred is an intelligent agent, based on our uniform experience that complex, functional information-rich systems are always the product of intelligence, e.g., human-engineered systems. This inference is rooted in the scientific method, which seeks to explain observed phenomena by categories of causes that match uniform human experience. The scientific method of inferring a category of causes that matches uniform scientific experience. Finally, intelligent design aligns with the scientific method by inferring causes that match uniform scientific experience. In many scientific fields, from archaeology to cryptography, the presence of information or complexity typically indicates intelligent causation. ID extends this reasoning to biological systems, inferring that the complexity and information observed in life are best explained by an intelligent cause, consistent with patterns observed in other scientific domains.
Conclusion.
1. Intelligent design meets all of the valid criteria for a hard science. Based on empirical observation, hypothesis building, prediction, testing, falsifiability, and more, ID is a legitimate scientific paradigm. ID has already made significant contributions in science, whether implicitly or explicitly, for instance discovering functions for numerous categories of previously miscategorized junk DNA. The ongoing debate and research in this area continue to shape its development, enabling ID to contribute to scientific inquiry in many meaningful ways.
2. Intelligent design is science by any and all valid criteria.
Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe, and comment below if you agree, or would like to add your thoughts.